Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. Today, we're going to talk about Tennessee's 2026 schedule. It got released yesterday. We got more Sharon Moore news, obviously. We got teams threatening not to play Notre Dame. That and more on this episode, y'all. Before we get into it, if any of y'all are religious, please say a prayer for my little baby. Doctor screwed up yesterday. Don't know what they gave her. We don't know what they gave her. She's had a fever of 103 over today. So if you're religious, please say a prayer for her. Hope she gets to feeling better. And in Tennessee, basically nothing you can do about it. Doctors can just do whatever. That's besides the point, y'all. Before we get into it, y'all please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button. Get in the comment section, share the video. Most importantly, please say a prayer for my baby. First thing we'll cover, y'all, is Tennessee's schedule. It's a gauntlet, y'all. The worst part about it is this year there's 2 bye weeks, okay? Next year there's only 1 bye week. So you only get 1 bye week and you got 9 conference games. Make it make sense. I think Greg Sankey messed up. We'll talk about that after we go over the video. First game, you got Furman at home. That's a tune-up game for the next week. You travel down to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's a tough team. They won't have Haynes King next year. They're still a tough, really SEC-style football team. They ain't quite got the talent a lot of the SEC teams do, but they do play physical, tough-nosed football. So that'll be a tough game, especially at Georgia Tech next year. Then you got one more tune-up game. Kennesaw State comes to Knoxville. Then you got the game Peyton Manning hoped he never had to deal with. You got Texas coming to Knoxville. Arch Manning versus the Vols. You know Peyton will be pulling for the Vols in his heart. He'll probably be there supporting his nephew. I'm really looking forward to that game. I think that's going to be an awesome game. Then you got Auburn coming to town. So that's 3 home games in a row. Then we travel to Arkansas. We broke the Arkansas curse this year. Can we get over the hump at Arkansas? Auburn and Arkansas both breaking in new coaches. Can the Vols take advantage of that? Then you got Alabama, 3rd Saturday in October. Then we travel to South Carolina for the first time since the wrist wearing scandal, if you want to call it that. There's substantial evidence that proves they had our signals that game. Can we go to South Carolina and get revenge for them knocking us out of the playoffs in 2022? Then Kentucky comes to town. New coach, Will Stein. Will they be the same Kentucky? Or will Stein be a breath of fresh air into the program? He's an offensive coach. So when they get on offense, not so great on defense. Under Stoops, they've been the opposite. They've been good on defense, bad on offense. It's another team breaking in new coach. That's 3 so far on their schedule. They're breaking in new coaches. Then you go to Texas A&M. That's a tough game. Should be a fun game, but it's a tough one. Then Lane Kiffin and the LSU Tigers come into Neyland. What an atmosphere that'll be. Just LSU coming to town in general is enough to get the fans fired up. That on top, that Kiffin's their coach, that might be one of the wildest nights in Neyland Stadium history right there. Especially if we're sitting there fighting for a playoff spot. It'll be an absolutely electric atmosphere. The ticket prices of that game will probably be $1,000 a piece, y'all. LSU, Lane Kiffin coming to Knoxville. If Tennessee's having a good year at that point, tickets will be out the roof. Probably be more golf balls, more mustard bottles. Y'all know how we are. Then last but not least, travel to Vandy, trying to get revenge after Pavia ran all over us. They bullied us, took our damn lunch money, shoved us in the locker, and left out of town while we were stuffed in the locker. I mean, that's a fun schedule. It's a hard schedule, which there's not no easy schedules in the SEC no more. They're just not. All that schedule differential, yes, there'll be ones that are easier than others, but schedules like Missouri and other teams have got in the past couple of years, those ain't happening no more. Not with the 9-game conference schedule. You only get one bye. This year you had two. Next year you only get one. Our bye week is between South Carolina and Kentucky. According to what Kentucky looks like next year, that could be good. You go through a gauntlet. You got Texas, Auburn, Arkansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and a bye week. You can make it out of that stretch with one loss, maybe two. Then you get a bye week, and you got Texas A&M, LSU, Vandy down the stretch, Kentucky too. By that point, we'll know more about them. Kentucky could catch somebody off guard early in the year. How do y'all feel about that schedule? What do you think the best case record is with that schedule? I think the best case would be 11-1 with that schedule. Worst case, 8-4. I mean, there's a lot of big names on that schedule, but there's also teams with new coaches. You got 4 teams with new coaches on there: Auburn, Arkansas, Kentucky, LSU, all breaking in new coaches. You got only 2 teams on that schedule that made the playoffs this year, which don't mean nothing. That's a tough schedule. Only 2 of them made the playoffs this year. Which game on that schedule are you looking for the most? Looking forward to the most? I've got Texas and LSU at the top of my list. Both of them coming to Knoxville, I think will be absolutely crazy environments, big time games that could propel us to a big season. The Texas game. If we're 3-0, Texas 3-0, we come in, win that game, that could propel us to a big season. We lose that game, we're already on thin ice with Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M, Vandy, all still on the schedule. So how do y'all feel about that schedule? Did Greg Sankey fuck up? Screw up, sorry. Did Greg Sankey screw up by moving to 9 games so early without any promises when it comes to college football playoffs? Are we going to 16 teams next year? Is it going to stay at 12? If it stays at 12, there's going to be way too many 3-loss SEC teams. It's going to screw us in the end. Because no matter what they say, is the Big Ten got 2 or 3 good teams at the top? Absolutely. But top to bottom, the SEC's king, will be king, will always be king. Josh Pate said SEC moving to a 9-league games and single bye season is going to be brutal. That's the future commissioner right there, Josh Payton. He's absolutely correct. Greg Sankey letting Petiti from the Big Ten bully him into 9-game conference schedule was absolutely idiotic. I mean, stupid. The committee has showed us year after year after year that strength of schedule does not mean a damn thing. It just don't. And look at teams like Vandy this year. Vandy got jumped by 3-loss Texas because of head-to-head. Miami, Notre Dame ahead of them, whose schedules were easier than theirs. All 3 with the same record. But Miami and Notre Dame's schedule was easier. They still ranked ahead of Vandy. So do y'all think Greg Sankey screwed up by going to 9 games before we got some guarantees with the 16-team playoff? I think he absolutely screwed up. I think it was a stupid move. Should we go to 9 games? I ain't got a problem with us going to 9 games. That's more good football. Especially if you still having to have one Power 5 team on your out-of-conference schedule. I love the extra good game. But until we got some promises from the playoff committee and the playoff language for the 16-team playoffs, I would not have done it. A 9-game Big Ten schedule and a 9-game SEC schedule is not even comparable. Caleb Downs played at Alabama, went to Ohio State. They asked him the difference. What's the difference between the SEC and the Big Ten? He said the SEC, you got to be mentally focused 100% every single week. The Big Ten, you got to do it 3 or 4 times a year. And that's the absolute truth. Greg Sankey let Petiti bully him into going to 9 games. I think it was a mistake. Now, if he gets us 4 guaranteed spots in the 16-team playoff, it wasn't a mistake. I'd go for 5, honestly. Us get 5, Big Ten get 4, ACC and Big 12 get 2. Then you got the 2 or 3 spots that are at-large bids. If I was Greg Sankey, that's what I'd do. He's done pissed his coaches off. I think the athletic directors ended up going for it because, of course, all they care about is making money. But it pissed the coaches off. The coaches did not want 9 games. But all he cares about, all the ADs care about is money. It is what it is. What's y'all's take on that? Let me know in the comment section. Now, teams are starting to threaten to not play Notre Dame because the language in the new playoff system when they go to 16 says college football athletic directors are threatening to freeze Notre Dame out of future schedules. Because Notre Dame got promised with the 16-team playoff, they got promised that if they're ranked 12th or higher, that they're guaranteed to get in. That pissed off the athletic directors. I don't blame them. Notre Dame threw a fit. They opted out of a bowl game. They threw a fit saying the ACC turned their back on them, helped make them not make the playoffs. No, the ACC's done you a favor because ACC sucks and you get to play 5 or 6 ACC teams a year that ain't worth a damn. Plus your other 5 or 6 easy games you get to play. You play 1 or 2 good games a year and the rest is cupcakes. If you want to spot in the playoffs every year and schedule harder games, it's really that simple. Or join a conference. You're in the ACC in basketball, baseball, every sport besides football. You do have a scheduling partnership with them, but you're still independent. So either join the Big Ten, join the ACC, join the SEC, Big 12, join a conference, go win it, and you'll be in the playoffs every year. It's really that simple. Their athletic director throwing the fit he did after they missed the playoffs on the ACC. The ACC's done with them too. The ACC don't even want to be partners with them anymore. So it's going to get to the point, if you want to force your spot in the playoffs, join a conference. It's really that simple. Everybody else is in a conference. You're not. You want to play with the big boys and make the playoffs where the big boys play, join a conference. It's really that simple. Quit acting like you're high and mighty over everybody else and join a damn conference. You found out this year that you're not. I think the committee screwed you at the end. Yes, but Miami should have been above you to begin with. They say head-to-head matters. Miami beats head-to-head. You have the same record. It is what it is. You want a spot at the table? Join a conference like everybody else, and you'll get your spot at the table. Quit thinking you're better than everybody else, and join a conference. It's that simple if you ask me. What's your opinions on it? Should Notre Dame be able to stay independent and get a guaranteed playoff spot? I don't think they should. Neither do all these athletic directors. They're threatening to quit playing them if they're guaranteed a spot if they're ranked 12 or higher. Because you could be 12th or higher and get left out with the way they're doing the new playoff system. One good news for Tennessee, Braylon Staley was named SEC Freshman of the Year. Mike Matthews was good too. Braylon Staley got the nod. You'll have Braylon Staley and Mike Matthews both back next year. Tristan Keys could step into that third wide receiver. Travis Smith Jr. There's a lot of options there. Amari Jefferson. Keem Dotson. Tennessee's wide receivers will be deep next year. We got the SEC Freshman of the Year, Braylon Staley. Hats off to him. Another thing, Jim Knowles is official defensive coordinator. I absolutely love it. He's had top defenses everywhere he goes. Tim Banks landed at safeties coach at Auburn. I'm glad he got a job. But we definitely upgraded defensive coordinator, y'all. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We upgraded at defensive coordinator. 110% we upgraded. Now, the Michigan scandal is going on, y'all. I mean, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. I broke the news the other day. It popped up as I was about to make my video. I didn't get all this stuff, though. So let's pull this up and go over what all Sharon Moore has done since he got fired. Ex-Michigan coach Sharon Moore has been charged with third-degree home invasion, stalking, breaking and entering, or entering without breaking. Moore was detained by police in Saline, Michigan, hours after he was fired for cause by Michigan, after the school said it had found evidence of an inappropriate relationship with the staffer. He went to the girl's house, broke in, threatened to kill her, kill himself. I mean, y'all, this man lost his damn mind. The rumor is he got her to get an abortion, doubled her salary for getting an abortion and keeping it hush hush for him. The man's married, 3 kids, just absolutely lost his mind, threatened to kill the girl, made her get an abortion, threatened to kill himself, broke into her house. The man lost his mind, y'all. I mean, that's call it what he is. He knocked her up. The vagina made him go crazy, y'all. I feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for his kids. That's something nobody's talked about through all this. Is his poor family having to go through all this shit. Right here, I started hearing about Sharon Moore's situation back in October. It wasn't really much of a surprise. I even had an incident with an ex-girlfriend where Sharon had gone back and liked a bunch of her pictures on Instagram from like 5-6 years ago. She had reached out to me and was like, this is a little creepy. That happened in last year's summer. I'd heard rumblings of other women who were contacted by Sharon, and he was using his head coaching position to look outside of his marriage a few times. He was DMing OnlyFans girls. I mean, the man was using his position of power to get women. It's a story as old as time. Then you had Jamel Hill. Said, oh, if he was a white coach, he wouldn't even got fired. They just fired him because he went 9-3. Bobby Petrino says otherwise. Arkansas ain't won like that since Bobby Petrino was fired. But he got caught having an affair, had a motorcycle wreck, they fired his ass. Rick Pitino, there's coach after coach after coach that has done the same thing Sharon Moore has. Got caught and got fired. Has nothing to do with them being black, has nothing to do with them being white. It has to do with them being shady. Having a girl go get an abortion, double her salary so she will. Then he went and broke in her house, threatened to kill her, threatened to kill himself. They said he was already having mental health issues, probably because he felt like crap about what he was doing behind his wife and kids' back. It's just a crazy situation, y'all. And somehow this got swept under the rug, and nobody really heard about it. Another Michigan staffer was caught on camera allegedly trying to meet up with a 13-year-old girl. Michigan quietly terminated you, releasing a generic statement indicating he was no longer part of the UM athletic department. Michigan has had scandal after scandal after scandal, and yet Ward Manuel is still the athletic director, y'all. And I kept saying last year, how was he the head of the freaking college football playoff committee when he's got a sign stealing scandal under his belt? He had a dude trying to meet a 13-year-old girl under his belt. Now he's got the Sharon Moore crap under his belt. Yet somehow he's still sitting there as Michigan's athletic director. How does that work? How has he not been fired yet? He's had scandal after scandal after scandal under his leadership. Yeah, he still has not been terminated by Michigan. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely zero sense how Ward Manuel still has a job. He obviously doesn't keep track of his program very well. He's had sign stealing, a staffer trying to meet a 13-year-old girl, Sharon Moore, all this crap going on with him. Yet Ward Manuel was still kicked back. He was still the freaking head of the playoff committee last year. What kind of dirt does he have on people that he's still got a job? It doesn't make any sense. How do y'all feel about the Michigan situation? How do you feel about Tennessee's schedule? Do you think Greg Sankey screwed up by going to non-conference games without guarantees for the 16-team playoff? Do you think Notre Dame should have to join a conference? Or do you think the athletic directors should quit scheduling them and force their hand? I think their hands should be forced. They should have to join a conference. Even if it's a crappy ACC, they'd make it a little better. And at least then you could go win a conference and get your playoff spot instead of having to hand it to you out of pity. That's just my opinion, y'all. Y'all let me know y'all's opinions on these subjects. The Michigan crap just keeps getting wilder and wilder and wilder. Who do you think Michigan's going to hire? Kalen DeBoer, Brian Kelly, somebody else. There's been other names floated around. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said before the video started, please like it, please subscribe, please comment, please share. If you don't do any of those, just say a prayer for my little girl that she's going to be all right. She's in there with her mom right now. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. God bless you. And as always, go Vols.